It's a scene.
Hello YouTubers! It has been over 6 years since Game of Thrones crashed and burned in spectacular fashion, and we are still trying to make sense of it. How? How could something so good turn so bad so quickly? How? There are tons of videos on YouTube that analyze, theorize, and explain both how the show failed and why the show failed, and by seasoned content creators who are way better than me. So why would I make my own video about this if I'm going to say things that have already been said over and over by more talented people? Short answer, I'm not. I'm here to say things that I haven't heard anybody else say. Now don't get me wrong, when it comes to the hows and whys of it, I agree wholeheartedly with the hows. Yes, characters and plot lines stopped making sense. Yes, plot armor, plot holes galore. The ending was rushed, conclusions were unsatisfying, and the result was hot garbage. But why did this happen? Well, angry fans have mostly found consensus around these reasons. D&D were good at book adaptation, but once they went off book, they were bad writers who made a mess of plot lines, character arcs, and dialogue. They also got tired of the show and wanted to go do Star Wars, so they rushed through the ending full speed without build-up. And finally, they made ridiculous decisions because they wanted to subvert expectations. You have no idea how much I hate this phrase. So anyway, these reasons are valid, and I mostly agree with them, but they don't explain everything. Now, in my series, I'm going to break it down by one topic per video, just to keep it manageable. And each of these videos will begin with the same introduction you're watching right now. So if you've seen this intro already, you can skip to the next chapter where I discuss the topic of the day. I'll be sure to include chapters in every video so you can skip it and get right to the meat and potatoes. Are you ready? Let's go. Today's topic is characters were dumb because D&D were too stupid to write smart characters. Okay, let's examine this and see if it holds up. And by holding up, I mean, let's see if it explains everything. So the motto for good writing is show, don't tell. If you haven't heard this phrase before, I'll explain it very quickly. Let's say you're a writer and you have a smart character in your story. You need to show that he is smart. You write scenarios where he behaves in clever ways. You engage the audience. They look forward to what he's going to do next or how he's going to get out of this one, etc., etc. Now let's say you're a bad writer. You're going to tell the audience that she's smart. Yes, I said she, no point in being coy about this right now. So what do? You write a line of dialogue in the script stating that she is smart. There, you've told them. Now they know. There's another thing bad writers do for supposedly smart characters, but I'll get into that one later. Now, in Sansa's case, this is exactly what happened. They decided Sansa was brilliant, and they kept telling us over and over.
She's much smarter than she lets on.
She's starting to let on.
Many underestimated you. Most of them are dead now.
Sansa thinks she's smarter than everyone.
She's the smartest person I've ever met.
Okay, we get it. This is so tiresome. So you told us already. What are you going to show us? Well, remember when I said that bad writers do another thing with these characters? They make them right. Even when they do something that makes no sense in the moment, within the context, or at all considering the information we have, but they do it anyway, and then later on, they turn out to be right. Okay, so maybe we're dumb, and we couldn't figure out what they figured out. What was it we missed? Oh, nothing. They're just smart, so they figured it out. Yeah, okay, thanks for that. So yes, as far as Sansa's concerned, they were dumb and they wrote her dumb.
Sounds dumb and Mark said it dumb.
Okay, that's Sansa. What about Tyrion? Tyrion had 3 phases. First, there were the good old days where he was the GOAT. I don't need to make the case for early Tyrion. There are too many examples to choose from, and you were all there. You saw him. But even as the show went off book and plot lines began to suffer, Tyrion was still surviving by his wits. Sure, there was a dip in quality when it came to the writing. He wasn't as impressive as before, but he was still managing to talk and scheme his way out of trouble and into power. In my opinion, these are the seasons in which this theory applies. The writers weren't working with book material anymore, and what they wrote for Tyrion was not as brilliant as early Tyrion. But then, things changed. Oh boy, did they change. From season 7 onwards, the writers weren't showing us a clever Tyrion anymore. But, and this is a big but, they weren't telling us that he was clever either. In fact, they began telling us that maybe he wasn't as smart as we thought.
He's a clever man, your hand. I've known a great many clever men. I've outlived them all. You know why? I ignored them.
Your strategy has lost us Dawn, the Iron Islands, and the Reach. Enough with the clever plans.
I wish I could have that kind of faith in my advisors. I didn't ask him to be my hand simply because he was good. I asked him to be my hand because he was good and intelligent and ruthless when he had to be. He never should have trusted Cersei. I thought he knew his sister.
She'll be
Cersei
safe.
told you her army was coming north to fight for you.
She did.
And you believed her. I used to think you were the cleverest man alive.
Yeah, so did we, Sansa. So did we. I guess we were naive like you were. That's what the writers are telling us, isn't it? And you know that other thing that writers do to smart characters? How they make them right in the end, even though you can't understand why? Well, in Tyrion's case, he's wrong every time and all his plans fail. Hey, I know. Let me talk to Cersei. We can go on a suicide mission, capture a zombie, bring it all the way down to King's Landing, and convince her not to fight. Wait, she came face to face with the living dead and she's still not buying it? I know what to do. Let me talk to her. Wait, she promised to send help, but she sent an assassin instead? Okay, I guess this is war. But first, let me talk to her. You know nothing, Tyrion Lannister. So basically, the writers have told us that he's not so smart, and they've shown us how he comes up with dumb ideas that keep failing.
It almost feels as if you're about to arrive at the point.
Yes, and my point is this. There was intention. We should consider that maybe not all of D&D's failures were due to incompetence or apathy or laziness. Some of them were intentional. Regardless of their writing abilities, at one point they actually made the conscious decision that Tyrion was no longer smart, maybe never was, and not going to save the day. Which begs the question, why? My theory? It was a political decision. I mean, it definitely wasn't a business decision. I believe political ideology required this character assassination. I'm going to leave it here today. Hopefully after I complete the series, a theme and a pattern emerge that get us closer to answering the question. What was the real reason that Game of Thrones failed? Thank you so much for sticking with me this far. And please leave a comment. Let's have a conversation. Take care.
It's been seen.